Okay.
That's what I got too.
Hello, everybody. It is Sunday night live again.
Sunday night.
I do not have a new place to tell you that I'm welcoming you from. I'm from the boring Laramie, Wyoming. How many of you have heard of Laramie, Wyoming before?
Since you started talking about it.
Amy, that's like the longest you've broadcast in one place.
I know, right?
Is it? You know what? I think, well, close, because I think we were in Northern California for about a month. So, and we haven't quite been here a month. But yes, it's getting close. It's been a long time. Hey, Erlene. Hey, Jessica. Now, you guys, if you're joining in with us for the recording or the replay, you're definitely going to want to stick with us tonight because we're going to be talking about getting some real beauty rest tonight and curbing those sugar cravings for good and a whole lot more. So, and I am joined by the lovely Melissa Ashford Johnson and the lovely Jennifer Maynard. One of these days I'm gonna like say Jennifer Johnson and Melissa Maynard or something.
That would actually be really funny. Jennifer Johnson and Melissa Maynard.
So thank you guys for joining us tonight. And hey, Jessica. So we are now, Melissa and Jennifer have been talking about how bright it is behind me. I am an hour behind. I'm in a mountain time zone, but it is pretty bright here. It's pretty sunshiny here a lot of the time. All right. So what's been going on with you guys? Anybody have anything funny to share from over the weekend or anything happening?
You know what? I had Jacob this weekend, and literally every time I have that kid, I just die laughing. I mean, like he's so funny, and it's been since he finished neurofeedback, since we've been able to get him off of medication and stuff that he's on, but I'm very busy right now trying to convince him that we need to start a YouTube show with a dashboard camera, because the two of us in a car together are just, I mean, like, I'm usually dying laughing within like the first 3 minutes. I mean, like, and I don't even know what it is.
Channel of just the two of you.
And he won't do it. And I'm like, you have got to be kidding me. And he's like, no, I don't want to. He's like, I can do that for you, but I can't do it with everybody else. But he is so funny. So
I'm trying like a hidden camera.
I think I'm going to. And then I think I'm going to post it. And then when it goes viral, I'm going to be like, I told you so.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Well, I love it. We had an issue with our hot water heater over the weekend.
Oh, and that is not funny.
No. And we have discovered mold in our basement where the hot water heater is. Apparently the tube that goes into the hot water heater was leaking. And so fortunately we live near a mold expert right now because she's lived through a lot of mold exposure. So we have access to a lot of amazing tools. But it's still not fun. And then because of that, we had to turn off our water. So for 2 days we've had no water. And so no water. We got water today. Although we don't have any hot water, we just have water. But you know, after you've lived for a day and a half, and getting ready for church in a day that you don't have any running water, you're like walking around with like washing people's hands with like a tub of water and stuff, and like brushing your teeth with like, fortunately we live next to a church that has filtered water that we've been filling up water and stuff for water bottles and all that kind of stuff. But the funny thing is, one of the twins last night came up to Dad and he was like, Dad, I really want to go camping soon. And I was like, I think we are camping. Like, we have no water.
Welcome to camping.
I feel like we're camping. I think we've checked that off.
Mm-hmm.
I don't actually need to go get in a tent right now. I'm good. So anyway, it's the glamorous life of full-time travel for all of you. It is definitely very adventurous, but yes, sometimes you have no water. So well, we're gonna jump right in. Those of you guys who are joining us, I see Erlene, Jessica, Tara. Those of you who are joining us at the beginning, I'm gonna share a little ebook with you tonight, since we're gonna be talking about sleep tonight, our beauty sleep. Put in the comments below if you would like to have access to this sleep ebook, and I will put this in the comments for you. Let me see if I think I can even share it with you now. All right, yes. I just shared the sleep ebook with you. It's chock full of a ton of great info about sleep, because tonight we're going to be talking about the Serenity Restful blend, and we're going to be talking about Serenity Restful Complex, which is actually not exactly the same. And we're going to be talking about the Slim and Sassy Metabolic Blend, and even the Slim and Sassy Gum, and the Slim and Sassy Softgels that go with this, and even the TrimShake. So lots of fun stuff that we're going to talk about tonight. So we want to know from you, what do you most want to know about these items? If there's one of them that maybe you aren't familiar with, or you've never heard of, or you're like, what's that for? We want to cover that tonight. And we actually polled inside our customer group as well. And who knows what the top question was for everybody on this?
I do.
Ooh, what is it, Jennifer?
Everybody wants to know about what? Is there something that can be used on the go for anxious situations? And the answer to that question is yeah, there is, and we'll tell you all about it.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that. And the second most requested topic was that the fact that sugar cravings, you feel like they've gotten the best of you. And now what do you got to do? I think we've all been in that situation at one time or another. So we're definitely going to talk about that. And then a couple of you said, I've heard that dōTERRA has a meal replacement option. And what are those like? And can I try them? So we'll talk about that. And then a lot of you still said, I still need some help in the sleep department, and the oils that I'm already using are just not cutting it. So we're definitely going to talk about that as well. And then maybe even some bonus stuff from Jennifer, our emotions queen.
Maybe. That's possible.
But let's talk about this whole on the go anxious situations, because we were talking about this even before we went live. And we're going to talk about the Serenity Restful Complex here with this. Now, I'm trying to remember. So what is in this? Because it's actually not the same. Those of you who have the Serenity oil, it is not just this in the soft gels.
Yeah, I was trying to get to it. Okay, so it combines lavender and L-theanine with lemon balm, passion flower, and chamomile.
Yes.
Promote relaxation and sleep.
And it's pretty distinguishable from any of the other soft gels that you may or may not have used from dōTERRA, because I don't know if you guys can see this, but it's kind of
a greenish brown color.
Yeah, got a whirly pattern on it.
Yeah, it's kind of a marbled effect, kind of what I think of it. So it's very different looking. So you won't get it. It's not easily mixed up with your other ones. Like, for instance, this is like my Tri-Ease. Very different looking. But I have always used these for sleep because they're very good at helping shut the mind off. Those are all, in fact, I was reading somewhere about L-theanine. I probably remember where I put it here. Oh, because L-theanine is an amino acid that passes through the blood-brain barrier in 30 minutes.
So good.
And it's been shown to ease anxiety, stress relief, also even improve concentration and focus, as well as cognitive skills. So, and here's the thing, it's more about kind of just putting your mind at ease, kind of is, I feel like, the best way to describe it. But I have actually never used it for anxious situations, but I'm pumped. This is a little thing that I carry in my purse. and I put my Digestin soft gels in here for on the go and stuff.
Mhm.
I'm gonna add a few of these in here so that I can have them if there is some kind of anxious situation where I need something on the go, or I could share it with someone else. And I like that they're so different. I'm not going to get them confused with the other ones.
Yeah. So you guys, this is really kind of your on the go. What do you do when you're having the anxious feelings, right? And I actually, both Jake and I have taken them during the day. And here's the cool thing about the oils. Our oils are smart. They get into our bodies. And for example, you know, I always tell people, because they were like, well, what about breathe? Breathe helps you to rest, but it also helps your respiratory system. Well, yeah, but it senses what your body needs at that point in time, right? So the same thing here with the Serenity soft gels. Time for your body to settle down and rest. It's going to put you into that place where you can do that. But during the day, I have not had any issues, and usually I am very sensitive. There's something that I've taken before that might cause drowsiness during the day, I'm usually out for hours. And so it's worked really well for me. I don't take it all the time, but I do like having some with me just in case.
So if you take it during the day, Jennifer, do you take one or two?
I just take one during the day, but I have talked to a couple of people who, especially for kiddos that struggle emotionally, have problems with transition and things like that, it can be a really good thing. And some of them take 2 a day.
Well, so we're going to talk about sleep a little bit more in depth in a few minutes, but I have not personally used it during the day for the anxious feelings, but I'm excited about trying them in that way. And then when I've heard from other people, they've said that that it doesn't, you know, knock them out during the day when they're using it. It's like you said, it's actually just kind of putting the mind at ease and allowing you to be able to still move through the situation but be more calm about it. So I'm excited about trying these. Have you ever used them in this way, Melissa?
I have not used them during the day, but it makes total sense to me because it's not a sleeping pill. It's not just for night. It's the calming effect that you get, the kind of, oh, I can put that aside, or I can move through this situation and not have it being weighing on your mind. That's one aspect of what helps you sleep. And that makes total sense that it can help you through an anxious situation.
Yeah, I love that. I did hear some people saying that some people who are dealing with post-traumatic stress, that they were taking these and how it was helping them as well. But one person was saying that it actually was making them more anxious. And someone was explaining that, you know, the lavender that's in here, and I know Jennifer can attest to this, that lavender is the oil of communication. And so if you're taking that and your body is holding on to this specific trauma or fear, the oil is going to bring about that stuff. You know, the oils are very balancing to the body. They want to bring that body back into balance. So if there's some stuff that's going on, some crud, some junk, for lack of a better term, that's being held up in there, your body's kind of got this internal battle because you're trying to speak. And in fact, I was just talking with somebody recently who is in the Army, and he's been dealing with post-traumatic stress, and it's been so healing for him to be able to speak about it. And so if you're fighting that, that's going to really even create more battles internally with you. So all right, let's talk about some sugar cravings. Hey, Daniel.
Let's talk sugar.
Sugar is bad
for you. Let's just start there.
So this blend, okay, so what's in it? It's got grapefruit, lemon, peppermint, ginger, and cinnamon bark. And all of those are helpful for your digestive. And in fact, I've had some people say they use this instead of Zen for digestive issues, because all of these are so helpful for digestion. But grapefruit in particular is helpful for sugar cravings, and cinnamon bark is helpful for keeping our blood sugar levels more regulated. And so it's called a metabolic blend because it helps balance the metabolism and bring it back into balance. But I like it just to kind of help curb those sugar cravings. And I have met a lot of people who say that they either, now here's how I use it. I put drops in my water bottle throughout the day. I know Jennifer does not use it that way.
No,
right?
I don't, but we have a product just for me, and it's the Slim and Sassy soft gel. So I do not love the taste. I'm one of those people that's kind of funny. I like cinnamon tea like around the holidays and stuff like that. But if we're talking about like in my water, I don't want cinnamon in my water. It just doesn't taste right to me. It tastes weird. Now I'll put grapefruit in my water. I'll put all kinds of other things in my water, but not that for some reason. So I love the soft gels, and I would show you guys the bottle, but they're all gone, and I need to
We're gonna pretend we're showing them to you.
Yes. So I'm sorry I'm not showing them to you, but I use the soft gels just like Amy uses the water, and they've been really, really great for me. And it's the same thing. It helps with the tummy upset, right? It helps with your metabolism. It helps to control those sugar cravings. And you know, for us, we've gone keto. And going keto, you don't do sugar anymore. In the beginning, that was a really hard thing for me. And every once in a while, I still eat something like the cupcake I had in Waco last weekend. But I don't eat them very often anymore. And it's in large part, I would say, due to the Slim and Sassy soft gels.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, obviously, this does not replace, like, we'd still recommend you taking your lifelong vitality supplements.
Absolutely.
If you're not getting nutrients, then your body can sometimes, mistakenly trick you to think that you are thinking you need sugar when really you're needing some other nutrients.
Mm-hmm.
And so definitely we want to suggest you taking that. But I love that you have options. That's one of my favorite things about oils, right, you guys? Because our old normal was that we felt like we only had one option for stuff, right? And now I feel like I have lots of options. And so I can put my Slim and Sassy in my water, and it can taste like pepperminty and zingy and fun and energizing for me. Or I can say, I don't like that, and I'm going to put it in a soft gel. Or you can even put it in your own veggie capsule. The soft gels that you buy pre-made, they have 5 drops in each capsule. So just to kind of give you an equivalent. And or you can even take the Slim and Sassy gum. What do you guys think about the Slim and Sassy gum? It comes in little packets like this, and you pop it out.
I like the Slim and Sassy gum.
There is, I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think there's 1 drop of Slim and Sassy in each of the gum. It is xylitol based, so that's the sweetener in it. And then of course it has all of the oils in it. Yeah, I don't mind it. It's nice if you're gonna be like out and about and you feel like you need something in your mouth because your body's telling you, or you think your body's telling you that you're hungry and you really aren't, or whatever it is. Or if you're craving those sugars and you're trying to be better about sugars. If you're on Whole30 and you're trying to stay away from sugar, right?
Or keto.
Yes.
You know what else I like the gum for, though? Because of all the digestive stuff in the peppermint, I like it for motion sickness.
Oh, nice.
Yes. So how
like
do you use it for that?
Just because before I had the gum, I get really motion sick, like driving around mountains and stuff like that. So the time I did that before the gum, I had the peppermint, the whole bottle under my nose, just the whole time, because if I moved it away, I'd start to feel sick. I had to have it there. But with the gum, it's kind of always there. So I just chew the gum, and that helps a lot.
You know what? I'm glad you mentioned that, because we keep these in our car sometimes. And you guys know I have one that sometimes has a tendency to get car sick. And sometimes we're driving around mountains. And so we have our ginger spray, but this would be another, because it has ginger in it. This would be another option that I could give him. And I'm sure he would be very happy about me giving him some gum. Okay, so let's talk a little bit more about sugar cravings. Well, actually, so I have a couple of testimonials that people shared because Paula shared that she did 3 drops of the Slim and Sassy in water 3 times a day, and she said that completely killed her sugar cravings. And her suggestion was to be consistent and persistent, which we talk about that a lot with our oils, that usually it's not just one day and then all of a sudden your sugar cravings are gone. It's something that you want to carry out through over time as your body responds to that. So, and then somebody else said that they lost 5 pounds in a few weeks while doing this, and they weren't consciously changing anything else by doing the Slim and Sassy gum. So I can imagine if I were eating less sugar that I would probably lose some weight too. So that's awesome. Okay. Some of you guys said that, okay, so actually I'm curious. So if you try the Slim and Sassy, which do you think you'll try first? You think you'll do the gum or the oil or the soft gels?
Team soft gel.
Team oil. I think Melissa's team gum.
Team gum.
Team gum.
Team gum.
Which tastes
right,
like
so you guys,
peppermint aftertaste. Like, I don't know
There you go.
that's a thing, but that's what it tastes like.
yes, yeah. So put in the comments which one you would try first. And then let's talk about this quote unquote meal replacement. Now this is the vegan version. This is doTERRA's Slim and Sassy TrimShake.
Yeah.
It's essentially a meal replacement option.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, this is the vegan version. So this I think is made with pea protein, if I remember correctly. Yeah. Pea protein, so. Quinoa, and amaranth. Now, this is one that you could add to a scoop in like smoothies.
Mm-hmm.
There are a ton of great TrimShake options. Recipe options.
Yes.
And what it does have in it is it has this thing called solathin. And what it is, it's a protein extract from potatoes that help kind of increase the feeling of satiation. So helping you kind of control snacking between meals, or portion control, feeling fuller, faster, and longer. And so this is something that you would take, if you were wanting to replace a meal, or if you're trying to decrease the amount of portions that you're eating in your meals, especially if you have maybe a long history of just habits that have been created that where you're needing to change some habits with portion control and things like that. But this would replace a meal. So you wouldn't add this to your meals, it would replace a meal. When I've done this a couple of times, we did it during like a lunch or sometimes breakfast. But I like to beef this up with all of my superfoods and smoothie stuff. We haven't done this in a long time because when we do our Whole 30, we can't do this. I think it has, I'm trying to remember what's in it that makes it.
Well, and I know like for people that are doing keto, it's got 6 grams of carbs and there's no dietary fiber to it. But the thing is that if you can kind of play with it, it's not the best, it's not horrible, but it is an option. Did you figure out what it was that you couldn't have on the Whole 30?
I think
you're not allowed to have pea protein.
That's true. Oh, that's true, because you can't do grains and and it also has stevia in it too. Mm-hmm. So you can't do this on Whole 30. But I have had a lot of people tell me they have had a lot of successes, especially with trying to control some of those sugar cravings. Noah, do you need some help? I have a boy who's over here struggling next to me watching him. Okay, sorry. But utilizing the Slim and Sassy along with what other weight management tools they're using, exercising, eating healthy, adding superfoods to this, like, adding your beans, making a great smoothie with this. Don't just stick with this. You guys up level these with like some good nutrient dense options. If you need some options, just put in their options and I will share with you some of my smoothie recipes that you can add your vegan or the other kind of TrimShake. Yeah, if you're dairy free, you definitely want to do the vegan one because I think the other one has whey protein.
Mhm.
Isn't it right? I think so.
Yeah, it does. But there's one thing that I want to mention, at least in the TrimShake. I don't know if this is in the V-Shake or not because I've never taken it.
Yeah.
In the TrimShake, it also has something called a Centra Trim. Is that in the
yes.
V-Shake or no? So you guys, a Centra Trim is really cool, and here's why. So it's basically ashwagandha leaves and roots, right? But here's why it's awesome. It's because it helps to control the release of cortisol. So we've heard about cortisol before, right? It's the stress hormone. And it is what makes people accumulate fat on the stomach, hips, and thighs.
Yes. In fact, you can Google ashwagandha root and you can find all kinds of awesome info. Yeah, there are no artificial sweeteners, no artificial flavors, colors, or preservatives in the trim shakes at all. So anything else you guys? Oh, and this comes, I think there's a vanilla and a chocolate.
And the orange cream.
Is that still available, the orange cream?
I was gonna check and see. I thought it was. I may be a liar. Let me go look.
I will say if you're trying to stay away from sweeteners, I think the chocolate has a little bit more sugar content than the vanilla or like the plain. But I will say I can do a lot just with water, but I can't do this just with water.
We may not be able to get the orange cream anymore. No, I can't do it with water either. I usually do it with unsweetened almond milk, and I'll do like unsweetened vanilla usually. And it's really, really good, but I cannot do it with water.
Yeah. Yeah. So put in the comments, Tara, you said tonight's info is obviously what you need. I'm so glad that this is with what you need to hear about. Please put in the comments any questions that you have. We definitely want to go back and answer any questions that you have because I know we're covering a lot of content tonight, but we do want to talk a little bit more about sleep before we go. And so you guys talked about needing some help in the sleep department and that the oils you're currently using are just not cutting it. So we want to talk about that.
Pick me.
Ooh, Melissa.
Because it's the perfect segue. Everyone who's watching knows what I'm going to say, but I'm going to anyways. Gut health, people. Why? Because everything we were just talking about, your gut health can affect your sugar cravings. It can affect your cortisol levels. So if you're management, gut health, you've got to look to your gut health first. And sleep, your gut health can affect your sleep, the quality of your sleep. If you have insomnia, like it will blow your mind all the things that your gut affects. And we don't just think like, digestive concerns. This is a whole body situation. When your gut's not happy, it comes out in different ways in your body, and it can definitely affect your sleep, the quality of your sleep. And even if you're sleeping, but you're not getting good sleep.
Yes, I agree. And so if the oils are not cutting it for you, I think there's some things that you want to start considering. So maybe some questions that you want to ask yourself. Number one, where do I start with a 30-day cleanse from dōTERRA? Now, all of you, if you are watching and you have your account with dōTERRA, you can go on the website and type in cleanse, and you will find information on how to do a 30-day cleanse, and you can reach out to your wellness advocate and they can walk you through how to do that. But that would be a first start. And then I'm curious, how many of you who are still struggling in the sleep department, how many of you take the lifelong vitality supplements on a consistent basis? Put a 1 in the comments if you already are taking the lifelong vitality supplements and you're still having trouble, because that's another foundational thing, which is a part of the cleanse, is a foundational thing that you would want to start with. So before we say just use Serenity for your sleep, we have to look at the whole picture, right, you guys? And so I want you to consider, how is your gut? Are you taking foundational vitamins and nutrients. And then maybe you want to consider, this is my favorite sleep book. It's called Smarter by Sean Stevenson. He has an amazing podcast that I follow as well. If you like to geek out on health topics, he is like a guru, and he makes it fun and hip and happening. But this is a really great book that talks about thinking about all the components, because sleep is a big booger, right? I mean, there's so many different factors that could be, you know, our hormones. It still most of goes back to the gut, but you know, our
hormones too. Just saying.
Right. And allergens and allergies that keeping us up, and stress and all those kinds of things still all go back to the gut. But I like he gives lots of practical tools that you can add to your toolbox if you're still struggling. And then if you've just been using your lavender, then you need to consider bumping it up and using your lavender on steroids.
Yes.
So Serenity blend is lavender on steroids, you guys.
So good. It is
lavender
everything in the diffuser like ever. It smells so good in the diffuser. Like I can't even.
That one is in our diffuser.
Yes.
I either couple it with Breathe or Frankincense, and it is a nightly diffuser.
So good.
Cannot be without Serenity.
Yes. So I think I speak for all of us when I say that this is kind of our default sleep oil. Like if we're like, what are we diffusing? I don't know. Grab Serenity, right? Now we also like to change it up some. Like we also add Breathe to it sometimes, because if you have somebody who's snoring next to you, add a couple of drops of Breathe and it will stop that. Not that any of you guys know that.
Not that we're saying anybody's names or anything like that. We're not doing that.
Yeah, but lavender, cedarwood, hoewood leaf, ylang-ylang, marjoram, Roman chamomile, vetiver, Hawaiian sandalwood, all the oils that are just grounding and helpful for turning off that mind chatter. And so I love this oil. So now now you're in the know that this oil is not just this poured inside these soft gels. They're two totally different ingredients and things, but you can use them together. So my personal sleep routine is I'll put this in the diffuser, and I take 2 of these, and sometimes I'll also put oils on topically, right? So if you need like the triple whammy, you're taking internal, breathing in, and you're applying topically.
It's the trifecta.
It's a pre-sleep oil too. Like I'll stick that in the kids' bath a lot of times before bed.
Yes.
I was actually going to say that. So like one of my favorite things to do, you guys, this was an area where I struggled so bad when we first started taking oils. Like I was on 3 different prescription medications to sleep at night because I could not sleep. And so when I first got into this, and the more I started learning about it, and yes, I did the cleanse, I did the gut, and I continue to do that stuff. I always need to be doing that, right? But what I found was that by changing what my nighttime routine looks like, it really made a huge difference. And so for me, I get super intentional about what I'm doing before I go to bed. I make sure that I am not in front of the TV. I make sure that I'm not on my phone. On Sunday nights, I'm in front of my computer, but a lot of the time now I'm not. If it's about 30 to 45 minutes before I go to bed, I get away from it, right? Yeah. I have a light on in here right now, but it's warm light. It's not, cold, bright light.
Yeah.
That I will start playing soft music, like instrumental.
I was about to say calm music like too.
Yeah. And sometimes I will do either like a meditation. I love Headspace. Amy is actually the one that turned me on to Headspace. I've been using it now for almost 2 years probably. So I'll do like a little meditation or something like that. If I go to take a bath, I'll get the Epsom salt, mix this in with the Epsom salt, throw it in the bathtub. And then I have the diffuser running right next to me. And what I love is that the soft light of the diffuser, that's all I have on in there. I turn all the rest of the lights off, right? So it's just like the soft, nice light. And so by the time I get out, I'm ready to go to bed. But like Amy said, I take things internally. I do take the Serenity soft gels. I also take Copaiba soft gels at night. And then I do oils on my feet, and it kind of changes up from time to time. A lot of really grounding stuff is usually what I do. Using before I go to bed is really, really helpful for me too. But it's really, there are a lot of things that you can do. And the more that you start to just wind down and really start to let go of the stuff that could keep you awake all night long, it makes it so much easier. And so then you've got all these great tools in your arsenal too.
Yeah, I love that.
But don't think that Serenity is just for sleep.
Nope, it's not.
Yes. So
Like
with
we
your
said.
kids, I'm wondering if you guys do anything differently with your kids. For my boys, you know, we make sure we have blackout curtains, right? So we're not letting light in. We turn off our Wi-Fi at night because that Wi-Fi, those signals can actually disrupt with your sleep patterns. And we make sure we put our phones on airplane mode so that it's not constantly trying to get data signals and things like that throughout the night. And we do our very fashionable blue light glasses if we do watch TV at night or something, so that blue light is not and then we have is not affecting our sleep, because you guys, it can knock out like 2 hours worth of going into your deep sleep, because you may feel like you're still getting enough sleep, but you have not entered into that REM, that deeper sleep where you're getting that quality sleep, that you're getting restoration. And you guys know that when we're sleeping, that's when our body's repairing itself. So it's very active while we're sleeping. So I have a couple of testimonials that I wanted to share with you about Serenity. Somebody said that when they used it, they actually felt energized at first. And it was interesting because they kept using it. They actually switched to using it during the day. And actually, this was with the soft gels. They took them and they felt kind of buzzed, they said. And then week 2, they used it and they felt like they had a sleep hangover, like such a deep sleep that it was almost like, you know, when you take a nap too late in the day, right? And then week 3, they said they slept so deep. They woke up fresh, alert from their alarm. This was Tanya Ferguson who was telling me this. And then miracle of miracles, she said, I had no idea how poorly I had been sleeping until I experienced Serenity sleep. So she takes 2 every single night, and her kids sometimes take them too. And she can tell the difference in her sleep yeller, her sleep grinder and thrasher. And she used to have a teenager who would have dark circles under her eyes, and now is getting better rest. And so sometimes I will give some of my boys, 6 and older, we'll give them one of the Serenity soft gels, because you can take 1 or 2 at night. But it's interesting. So sometimes it may take some time getting used to taking them, because your body's filtering through some stuff. And so, because remember, cedarwood's not in there, but cedarwood in your oil helps produce melatonin. So those of you who may take melatonin, you don't necessarily need to take that anymore. Cedarwood will help your body produce it on its own, so you don't have to add it. But the L-theanine in here also helps increase the production of serotonin and dopamine and all those neurotransmitters that promote that relaxation and those positive feelings. So, you guys, sleep, it's a beautiful thing. And when you don't get it,
so beautiful.
Life is bad. So if you are having trouble with sleep, please put in the comments sleep, and we want to try to help you more with this. Now, if you are new to dōTERRA, and or even if you're not new to dōTERRA and you know somebody who's dealing with sleep, we want you to hit the share button right now with them. Help them to have better sleep this year in 2019. And we want to hear from you. And if you're new to dōTERRA and you're watching this, reach out to us. We'd be happy to chat with you, learn about your specific needs, and share with you a little bit more about dōTERRA. You don't have to buy anything. There's no pressure from us on that. But if you do see something that you want, that you feel like could help you and benefit you, then we want to help you get that. So you guys Join us tomorrow. I mean, no, not tomorrow.
Not
join us
tomorrow.
next week, though, because next week we're going to be talking about how to have more confidence in your speaking. We're going to talk about a tree that specifically relaxes and cleans. And we're going to talk about an on guard version for kids, just for kids. So you're going to want to stick around with us. We're still in the S's next week, you guys. Good night, everybody.